Hi, my name's Larry, 56 years old. I've been training Jiu-jitsu for about 8-9 years now. I first became interested in martial arts probably back 10-12 years ago. I stumbled across some old videos of UFC events when Royce Gracie was in UFC 1, UFC 2. Didn't know what martial arts was, really didn't know what Jiu-jitsu was at all. Saw Royce Gracie step into the ring wearing like a karate looking outfit. I didn't know what it was called at the time. Now I know, we call it a gi. Karate outfit, looking kind of scared, 170 pounds. And I'm like, what's this guy doing? He's fighting monsters in there. He's going to go fight monsters. He's going to get destroyed. Lo and behold, continued watching it. He was like going through everybody. I'm like, wow, this stuff is pretty cool. This is like amazing what I'm seeing here. So I saw it, never thought it would be for me, and never even considered it would really be for me to any real true extent. Then like several years later, my kid comes home from school and he says, Dad, I want to join a gym, martial arts gym with my friends. There's a BJJ, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. And I'm like, yeah, that's the same stuff I saw several years ago with Royce Gracie and going through all these people. I'm like, yeah, go ahead, go for it and join. You're a young kid and it'll be good for you and all that. And we enrolled him, paid the first month's tuition. Kid went to one class, decided it wasn't for him, so now we have a one month tuition bill that we paid. My wife says to me, she says, why don't you finish out his tuition, finish out the class? I'm like, really? 40-something years old, I can't do this. She said, just go for it, give it a try. So I went to the one class, kind of apprehensive, like a lot of people would be. Got in there and I completely loved it. From the first day of that class, I loved it, and 8-9 years later, I'm still doing it. Now, this wasn't at the gym, this wasn't at Precision, this was another gym. I was at the gym approximately 3-4 years, and I started feeling like, thinking back to Royce Gracie and sport jiu-jitsu that I was doing, and I felt like there was more that I wanted to do. I wanted to really learn more about the MMA and strike-based jiu-jitsu and how to defend against strikes on the ground in a jiu-jitsu situation, how to give strikes possibly and all that kind of stuff. So I started doing a little research, trying to find gyms that offered more serious MMA, strike-based jiu-jitsu, and I really wasn't finding a lot. There's a little bit out there, but just not anything that really grabbed me. And then by chance, at some point in time later, I ran into a former student, or became acquainted with a former student of Brian's, and we started talking about it a little bit. He showed me a few things that they were doing over at Precision, and I kind of, thought about Precision. So I had that at the back of my mind, but I still wasn't ready to leave. Even though I wanted something that was like strike-based, I wasn't ready to leave my gym. I liked it there, and it was good. And then, randomly one day, I'm watching television, and I found some old Grappler's Quest videos on some obscure channel, and it was Brian McLaughlin, who owns Precision. He was fighting, grappling in there, and he was just amazing. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. It was completely amazing to watch, and I think it was Eddie Bravo, might even have been the commentator, and Eddie's like, man, this guy's got sick jiu-jitsu, he's off the hook and everything like that, and I'm looking at it and saying, I agree, and this stuff's pretty good, it's for real. So that really got me thinking harder about Precision, and I did more research, found some more videos of Brian's grappling tournaments and some amateur fights, pro fights, and I liked everything I saw. Brian was nearby. He really knew the sport, was doing very well with it. So I was sold, I was hooked. I left my gym, came over to Precision. That was 4 years ago. So I've been here about 4 years. I continue to train here. What I like most about Precision is not only just the sports jiu-jitsu, which is very good, but again, I like the strike-based jiu-jitsu that Brian and his team offers, and his coaches offer. The Valley Tudo classes, they teach you how to defend against strikes, how to deliver strikes in a jiu-jitsu situation or a self-defense situation. And it's great. I love it, and it's really the biggest reason why I took the big leap to leave a gym that I was at to come to another gym. Highly recommend it if you're interested in MMA or any kind of strike-based jiu-jitsu. This is the place to be. Brian's got tons of skill, lots of good techniques. Another thing I like about Brian, what he does is he's constantly learning. He's coaching us, but he's constantly learning himself. I know that he goes and travels great distances sometimes to seek out experts, to learn what they know. Brian brings his knowledge back here, imparts it on all of us here, anybody who's willing to listen, And so he's always keeping things fresh and always trying to improve himself, and in doing that, he's improving all of his students here. And I find that a trait that I really appreciate, and it's one of the things I like about this gym as well. I am 56 years old. I'm kind of up there in age and stuff, and people come in and might be a little bit apprehensive about being a little bit older and trying martial arts, jiu-jitsu for instance, and I say that if you have the inclination, you think you want to do it, come on in, come to Precision, give it a try. The guys here are great, the team is great, everybody's very helpful. If you want it, you can do it. This stuff is challenging, but you can definitely do it. This is something that's, there's ways to train in jiu-jitsu that are not so taxing on you if you're older in age like I am. There's ways and there's techniques you can use, and I recommend if you even think you want to do this, go for it, come to Precision and give it a try. One other thing, I gotta say this too, just about the kids' classes here. Just the other day, I came to one of my classes. I was a little bit early, so I sat down against the wall, and Brian was teaching a kids' class. And I hadn't really watched the kids' classes very closely ever, because I come here, and take my own classes. But since I was early, I decided to watch, and I couldn't believe the level that Brian had these kids at. These are young boys and girls, 10, 12, 13 years old, and the techniques they were doing and the way they were conducting themselves on the mat, they were just so skilled and incredibly skilled. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. I just, never really paid close attention. I was so impressed. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. These kids here are like top notch, and Brian coaches them, and he's got them coached to listen. They got a discipline, and they are taking his coaching and putting it to good use. So if you're an adult and you don't want to train yourself, and if you think you have kids and you might be interested in it, check out the kids program here. It's pretty good. It's amazing. I've been to other gyms and I've seen kids programs, and the program here is not even close to anything I've ever seen before.